I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So all of y'all who are coming through to show me love, I give you much love. As always, I'm your foul player. And thank you for stepping into the foul play land. again, my beautiful people, like to thank y'all for coming through. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, and hopefully I could contribute to that wonderfulness. But as always, I'm your file player. Thank you for stepping into the file playland with me. World's gone mad. Pay-per-view prices are a little bit nutty of late. Get to that in a minute, and I want to talk about like stuff that's happening around the world. I don't want to jerk you guys and give you my take on like what's happening in the world first, because I titled my video that the PBC is finishing boxing, which is true. But again, like I keep telling you guys, I want to do more like around the world stuff, like because the biggest news in boxing is that the fans are getting jerked. Honestly, there's nothing upon the horizon that's a dope fight at all. There's nothing happening this year at all from the looks. If you want to say, oh, Jamal Charles is gonna fight Canelo, like okay, fantastic. Jamal Charles is gonna fight Canelo. Is that gonna bring boxing back? Are you gonna get that fight for free, or no? So I mean, boxing is finished as it's currently constructed, and I do want to talk about the fact that I think PBC is at the forefront of doing that stuff. And it's not me alone. I mean, even though I've been on this little tune as far as the PBC or this narrative, if you will, of PBC being at the forefront of messing the sport up, I've been on that tune. I mean, I wasn't the first either. I heard a lot of other channels, Blood Boxing, CJ Goodfella, before that would say the same stuff. I mean, like, and even if you go like by Blood Boxing and CJ Goodfella, I mean, like, certain people would think that you're on their shit list for listening to good channels like those, like, God forbid. But they've had that thought before I did, and I give a lot of love to those channels. Subscribe to them if you could. But those channels kind of put me on to like game as far as like what was happening as far as the PBC. Like, it's not that they're all innocent with in the way boxing's going. And I mean, internally, I think a lot of people rooted for those people. I mean, CJ Goodfella, I'm pretty sure, rooted for PBC, and Al Heyman as Blood Boxing probably had hopes for them too, as did I. I mean, I thought it was a great idea, especially when it was being sold as like a counter to pay-per-view in a sense. Like, I thought that was great. I mean, like, but everything that's come out of PBC since they've started, they've reverted back on it. I think that's kind of like trickled down to the fighters. Everybody on the PBC, as far as their roster goes, boxers, talks mad shit. Mad shit. I mean, all boxers talk shit. I don't mean it by being cocky and whatnot, but everybody on the PBC, like, that's like Cap Central over there. Like, where they'll make it seem like they're interested in a certain fighter, and then they'll go to business talk or regurgitate the line as far as like PBC fighters only being able to fight guys within the PBC. That's played out already. I mean, we've been seeing that for years. But that whole business side of boxing that kills boxing, or that kills a potential matchup, I mean, for the most part, the people doing it the most are boxers from the PBC and the PBC itself. They're representatives, if you will. That Tim Smith guy, if I mispronounce his name, I don't know his name is off the rip. I mean, but you get the point. This has been happening with the PBC for a long time, and it's going to keep going that way. And it's like it's no end in sight. So as much as I would root for PBC to implode and be out of business tomorrow, February the 8th, 2022, as much as I root for that now, because I think they're cock blocking the game, I think for a couple years after like the PBC implodes, you're going to have like maybe no boxing, little to no boxing, unless it's like fighters fighting for like way less money. And I think a lot of them, their pride maybe won't let them do that. But and it's not like because the economy is going to collapse as a whole, like America's economy, even though I do believe that may happen. I'm saying if the company implodes, because the PBC has a certain style of doing business, and I think a lot of boxers have gotten used to that. And it's you could add that's even trickled down to boxers that aren't on the PBC, like the habit of like fighting twice a year. I mean, like I think a lot of boxers do that. I think it's like done historically. Like it's not like PBC invented the boxers fighting twice a year, but the guys on PBC for the most part at max are fighting twice a year. That's an anomaly for somebody on PBC to fight more than twice a year. You know, even young cats, even the cats that you know that really don't add monetary value now or 5 years from now for the PBC, them cats are fighting once or twice a year. So I mean, but again, like that's happening with boxes from other promotions. I mean, no doubt, but it's happening most within the ranks and the confines of the PBC. That can't be debated. But I mean, and I've made content about this recently. I just wanted to go live on it. As far as now, based on Keith Thurman beating Mario Barrios, who wasn't ranked at 147 within the WBC, who never fought at 147, who just came off a loss, as you guys know, against Tank Davis at 140. He moves up in rank to fight Keith Thurman, who I believe is not in the top 40 either. And that fight automatically gets fast-tracked to becoming a WBC eliminator. So there's a very good chance that the victor of that match, Keith Thurman, fighting a comeback fight off a 900-plus day layoff, is now in line to fight for potentially 3 belts against the victor of Errol Spence and Ugas. And you can't make this shit up. I mean, like, even Errol Spence fighting Ugas, I thought was a little bit of a sour note. And especially when you think about PBC, what they did to get into to make that match happen. You know that they broke up Ugas fighting Stanionis, whoever the hell it was. That fight was already in motion, and the PBC must have. I mean, if you want to say allegedly, or I don't care actually, but the PBC must have gotten in somebody's ear at the WBC to break up that Stanionis Ugas fight to make Ugas versus Errol Spence. Period. Or at the very minimum, if you want to make PBC seem innocent in all this, at the end of the day, Errol Spence had the opportunity to fight Bud Crawford, Jaron Ennis, and somebody, the PBC likely, because according to a lot of people and me and like any casual observer, the PBC has a lot of pull with the WBC. So the PBC, in one instance for Errol Spence, broke up Stanionis versus Ugas, or whoever Ugas was going to fight, to make Ugas versus Errol Spence. So now the PBC also seemingly, if they have pull with the WBC, which I think a lot of people would agree with that, have also made a eliminator fight for Keith Thurman and Barrios, with Barrios coming up to fight at 147, which he's never done before. And now Keith Thurman, seemingly from what's coming out of Keith Thurman's mouth, is that he's trying to go the WBC route, i.e. To try to go after Errol Spence. Now, me being Keith Thurman, that's fantastic. If you could get such an opportunity, why wouldn't you take it? I mean, but Errol Spence, like, it's a joke. I mean, and the fact that at the end of the day, in some sort of back channel, WBC made this happen out of nowhere, where Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios was an eliminator. And now that seems to be a fight that's coming up next. Now, who made that all happen? The PBC. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, like you can't even try to explain that it wasn't the PBC that made this whole little thing happen. That's getting in the way of Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. I don't care what y'all say. And a lot of y'all, I know for sure, because I've gone around and looked at channels that would normally be more along the lines of, I don't know how you say it, Errol Spence Dick Swallowers. I've gone around to a lot of those channels just to headline bang, and like, because I'm not gonna waste my time like watching stuff. And it's not that I'm dissing y'all like on that end, because sometimes I do watch some of these channels, but life's too busy and there's a lot of shit going on in the world that I'd rather watch, and that's why I want to get into the world news section of this video. But a lot of these channels now they're critical of this fight by saying more along the lines that Keith Thurman didn't look good and they're not impressed, whatever. But they already know that. I mean, if you're looking at what's playing out in front of you, that Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman is coming up, brought to you by PBC. Now, give it like a week or two, because they're going to start changing their tune. If they were critical today, I didn't listen, but what you did see is a lot of people harping on, or a lot of the titles indicated that Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios didn't impress. To me, that's not even a story, though. I mean, the fact that Keith Thurman didn't knock out Mario Barrios is somewhat of a story. The bigger story is that now there's another hurdle in front of Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford, brought to you by the fucking PBC. Period. Hey, Lala D, thanks for coming through. Agree, Alpha. Yeah, I know. And it can't even be debated. But I'm telling you, I guarantee you that a lot of these people that are very reluctant to criticize PBC and Errol Spence and whatever have you, they may be critical of the performance of this fight. They may talk about the tactics of this fight, but they're avoiding the fact that right now there's another barrier in front of Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. They may talk the tactics of this fight, or the riveting action that happened this past weekend between Leo Santa Cruz versus black guy or Mexican black looking dude, and fucking Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. They're gonna go into if they don't talk tactics in the past, they're gonna talk tactics this week, because they're not gonna try to talk about like Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman coming at you next. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna avoid that topic. But next, in a few weeks, they may try to convince people that Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence, that's a nice fight. Yeah, that's a nice little fight. I wanted to see that in 2015. That's a nice little fight. I'll pay for you. And that only gives Errol Spence more percentage. That gives Errol Spence a lot more percentage. Like, who gives a fuck? We're all gonna die soon, bro. What the fuck, bro? You waiting on these dudes to fight each other, bro? That's why they need to keep lying and saying Bud wants too much. Yeah, word up, bro. Like, yo, and I was looking at what Mayweather and Pacquiao got, like, as far as splits go. That shit was 60-40. And Pacquiao came off a loss. He lost a bunch of times before that too. Pacquiao had four losses in his career. I think at that point he had 3 when he went to when he sat at the table with Mayweather. He already had like 3 or 4 losses, and he got 60-40. And and people barely got into the debate of who gets a bigger percentage, like with Mayweather Pacquiao, even before Pacquiao lost. But these dudes are tripping, like making these big arguments for Errol Spence getting like he's this big star, and that's the only reason that this fight's not happening, of course, because you got to meet Errol Spence's demands. Of course you can't make this fight happen. Let's see what Errol Spence offers Ugas. And the rumor is that supposedly they offered Bud Crawford like 20% for this match when he had that meeting with the PBC. Like, these dudes are tripping, bro. Like, they're gonna get on this business shit, because at the end of the day, like, the numbers that were thrown out there from Jump Street, which was 60-40. I mean, like it seemed like Bud wasn't interested in that. So I mean, rather than saying I like Errol Spence, maybe cave off that 60-40, maybe 65-45 or 50-50 for the sake of making this fight happen. No, now everybody becomes a businessman. See, but if you don't understand that, you don't understand business because the numbers don't add up. If you got 1+1, of course it's gonna equal 2. Like don't hood explain me like fucking like businesses because you sweep barbershops for money. Like don't talk business because you have a little detailing side hustle like cleaning cars and shit. Like I'm not trying to hear it. Don't talk business to me if you pay $74.99 to watch Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios fight, featuring Leo Santa Cruz wearing highlights. No, thank you. I don't need to talk business. You one of those dudes that don't even pay for fights. You're fucking right. I don't pay for fights. You're fucking right. I don't pay for Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. You're fucking right. I don't pay for Tank Davis versus Isak Cruz on a Sunday. Damn right. I'd buy cotton candy with $75, and I don't even like cotton candy. I'll take a bath in cotton candy before I fucking pay $75 to any of these promoters nowadays. There's nothing worth $75 coming through on boxing. Shit, I feel bad for paying for Fury Wilder Part 3, and that was a good fight. Thurman fucking Barrios, you out of your mind. 100%. Thank you. And now even like the rumors of Julio Santa Cruz is gonna fight. It's like some Mangala, like some character I never heard of, bro. Like even the best fights you can make aren't even like no pay-per-view shit. Like Chris Colbert versus Leo Santa Cruz is not a pay-per-view fight. That's like the only PBC match like you got like that could line up in and around your weight, because now you're moving down in weight, Leo Santa Cruz. Congrats. Like how many boxers move down in weight historically? For what? Why? But that but Leo Colbert and Gary Russell Jr. are the only fights that you can make. Neither one of those fights are pay-per-view, but they're a lot better than you fighting Joseph Mangala, whoever the hell you're gonna fight next. A lot better than this last dude you fought, the Blaxican dude like you just fought. Why? What's the investment with Leo Santa Cruz? What's the biggest fight Leo Santa Cruz can net you? Who gives a shit about Leo Santa Cruz? And like these dudes won't even give him to Chris Colbert. They're not gonna give him to Chris Colbert. Like why not? Why? Like Leo Santa Cruz is old already, and PBC is like supposed to be like Wakanda. That's the capital of Ghana, bro. Like PBC does everything, for the brothers. Yet they have Keith Thurman reading a poem like for the beginning of Black History Month, followed by a lineup of all fucking Spanish dudes. And Keith Thurman looks Latino. Let me see. Nobody. Let me see. Yeah, word up. But this is what the PBC is serving up. Like it's like the worst plans that you can make as a promoter. The PBC is enacting right now. The worst. You're basically avoiding a fight that could net you close to millions on pay-per-view in Bud Crawford and Errol Spence to give us Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. To give us Ugas versus Errol Spence. Come on, bro. How could we defend this now? And like I said, I think the downfall of the PBC, like if PBC goes out of business tomorrow, we may not have boxing for 2 or 3 years, but I could take that. I will take that sacrifice. If we can make, if somebody comes up who got rich off crypto or some shit, or if Lala D became rich and started a promotion, like, I would much rather like Lala D Promotions to start in 2025 with a landscape of boxers that are not going to come in there set tripping about how they're worth way more than the next guy because God knows what. Like I much rather start on a clean slate. Like let people shudder, let people get the chills when you mention of running a promotion like the PBC in the future, where they're trying to gouge every fight as pay-per-view, and the fights are whack. They're whack. There's no fights on PBC that are popping like that. Chris Colbert versus Leo Santa Cruz is the dope fight in my eyes, because Leo Santa Cruz is okay, like action-wise, but Chris Colbert is gonna tear his head off. Let him get it. That'd be a fantastic fight. It's a guilty pleasure fight for me. It's not pay-per-view. But what's getting in the way of that? Why is Leo Santa Cruz gonna fight Mangala, whoever the hell he's fighting? And why the emphasis on like building around Leo Santa Cruz? Like what brother are they putting emphasis on at the PBC right now? That's in and around somebody who's a sort of a Latin superstar on PBC. Not even Latin superstar, Latin somewhat name, bro. Like nobody's a superstar on PBC. Name them. Like what brother are they putting the push behind? Nobody. Errol Spence, that's it. But like besides that, bro, like there's no Latin cats in and around Errol Spence like that on the PBC that they're trying to hype up. That's the only reason Errol Spence is getting like that kind of burn, and that's their last commodity. Yeah, Rebel Life Boxing, salute, bro. Subscribe to Rebel Life Boxing too. A Brooklander like myself, bro. I just went to Brooklyn. I was actually in your hood, Rebel Life. I actually passed through the hood. Like I went to Bushwick though. I was on Halsey Street visiting my peeps. Fucking mess too, bro. Traffic like crazy. But thanks for coming through, man. And please subscribe to Lala D and Rebel Life Boxing. Sorry I didn't give a shout out earlier, Lala D. But it's pathetic what's happening on the PBC. So I'm good with the company going down, because it's spicing the game. They're getting in the way of every fight I want to see, pretty much. I mean, it's not like other promoters are innocent in this, but the thing is that dudes come onto YouTube acting like PBC is some sort of a gang they're a part of, bro. Like, yo, like what are they doing for you? Like, God forbid you talk about PBC because all of a sudden, like, you know, you don't know business, you're racist. You know, they have like, you know, they're trying, like, they have these dope things happening, like, you know, or you got to pay for pay-per-view now, or you got to pay for these fights now. It's just the cost of doing business now. Get the fuck out of here. I'd rather watch dumb shit on YouTube than pay for a fight. 75 balls, bro? Yeah, but out of your mind. Fight Mario Barrios fight, dead ass. Like, if I had company and that fight were like Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, because I don't pay for any fight no more. But if I had company and I didn't want to embarrass myself, and that's like company as far as my wife's friends. Like, if it's my friends, I don't care. I'll put that shit on my phone. But if I have company, like as far as like a friend and his wife, or like a wife's friend, I would only pay for that fight if it was like $3.99. And I'm not being sarcastic, but it's not worth it. Like, it's free. I can bag it on my phone. I'd rather watch it with the crack on my screen and everything, bro. Like, or I can put it on Bluetooth on my shit, bro. Like, fuck out of here. Like 75 balls for the. There's like if they're charging 75 for Thurman versus Barrios, what Tank Davis fight is going to be free ever again? Is Tank Davis an automatic pay-per-view draw? I don't care if he brought the whole Baltimore out with him, bro. Like, what has he done in the ring? Like, and Baltimore is not no, like, God. I mean, like, shout out to Baltimore, bro. Like, you know, don't kill me, but like, fucking, it ain't that kind of party. It's not. There's nothing there that merits me going into my pockets and paying for it. Not one bit. El Foul salute. Thank you for coming through, TWR. No doubt. Halsey Avenue. I got some peeps on Knickerbocker. Yeah, I was actually right in that area. Borderline of Queens, like Halsey Avenue. Yeah, the PBC is in shambles. Word up. Terrible. And I'm rooting for them to fall, bro. Like, I'd rather get it over with now, because boxing right now is at a standstill. So I'm cool with like boxing taking a pause right now. Like, you know, giving one other avenue of Canelo not being able to get paid, you know, because the PBC currently is going to throw a bunch of money in Canelo's direction, a Mexican. Not set tripping on Mexicans, or like, you know, I'm Latin myself. But PBC is not doing going out of their way for brothers. Period. If Tim Smith's fat ass like gets a brother, a so-called brother, even though Tim Smith listens to the whispers probably and Hootie and the Blowfish or some shit like that, but he's coming out of his face and giving out like talking like one of these bitch ass boxers, like as a representative of the largest boxing company in the world, to say like that they can't find the money for Bud Crawford. Are you kidding me? What? And you're finding the money for Canelo to fight Caleb Plant? Really? Like, why?
Yeah, because the thing is that basically, if you think about it, Caleb Plant is technically a brother because he's dating his sister and he treats that sister right.
Caleb, like, no. Give me Caleb Plant's like broad. Like that, throw it this way. Like, that Caleb Plant is no brother.
Well, Tennessee has a lot of brothers in it. You know what I'm saying? And Caleb Plant lives in Tennessee, so technically, you know what I'm saying?
Like no. Thank you. Someone said the PBC didn't start playing broke until Bud beat Porter and became disconnected from Aaron. Word up. That's very true. Now all of a sudden you see the warts on the PBC business model. Like now all of a sudden everything's impossible.
We're gonna get the fight between Errol Spence and Bud Crawford by 2020.
No need to worry. Like that's what these dudes were saying in 2018, 2019. The Errol Defense Squad that comes onto YouTube Boxing and tries to create the narrative. New media, bro. Like that. These dudes have been telling me like that. No later than 2020, are Bud Crawford and Errol Spence gonna fight? Now Errol Spence, all of a sudden, like this dude's a megastar, and you gotta
kiss the ring when you negotiate with Errol Spence. You gotta kiss the ring.
Like these dudes act like Errol Spence is on his farm, like wearing like a fur vest, like cleaning his stables out or inspecting his stables, like while he has a bunch of servants out there, like cleaning out the shit from his horse stables. And Errol Spence has like snipers, like he lives in a castle. You know what I'm saying? Like Errol Spence has a city named after him, Spencelandia. Like the only dudes that are working on the Errol Spence's compound potentially are these fucking dick rakers that come onto YouTube defending him. They do it for free. And they're the ones paying for Errol Spence versus Ugis. But, I didn't get on too big of a campaign for Barrios versus Thurman and why you shouldn't be paying for it. But God damn it. If I'm going to get on a campaign for you not to pay a fight, it's Errol Spence versus Ugis. Let's bring the house down with that one. StreamYard. I mean, what is it? No, StreamYard. Crack Streams, VIP, Sports League, whatever. Even if it gives your phone herpes for a few days, fuck it. Your phone's probably broken anyway. But $75 is I buy old models phones that are brand new. Like my shit is still like 4G. So if my phone breaks, I'm buying the same one that I bought in 2016, brand new. But I pay like $200 tops for a brand new phone. You're gonna pay almost half of that to watch Keith Thurman do anything? No, thank you. Plus, let's not get it twisted. Even the Dick Rider, Errol Spence channels were telling you that this fight, the only way that Keith Thurman could impress is by bodying Mario Barrios. Not only did Keith Thurman not body Mario Barrios, Keith Thurman went to a decision with Mario Barrios. Let that sink in. Keith Thurman also got hurt many times in this fight by Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios does have power. But Mario Barrios is coming up in weight. First time. Getting used to the weight. I don't care how good he looks. And he hurt Keith Thurman several times. Probably 6 times. Yet that's what I got to get. Like, that's what's in the way of Keith Thurman's last performance. Merits that PBC make Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman next. The Ugas versus Errol Spence ain't even dry yet. The contract, the ink on the contract ain't even dry. These dudes are running game. Running game, bro. I don't care if my cousin ran PBC or Mr. Puerto Rico, ran PBC. Like they like it don't rate. It don't rate, bro. Like you shouldn't be out here defending this company on YouTube or dissing people for criticizing that company on YouTube. I don't care if you diss me. I need subscribers and I need views. And besides that, like I'm a diss master. So we could go at it all day. And plus, like fucking anybody who's criticized me on YouTube, like fucking did it in a sneaky fashion. But you're coming on like and landing on other people and making it seem like they lose their black card because they criticize PBC or like it's a joke. It's a goddamn joke, especially at this. I mean, shit. PBC already fucked up the whole 2020 to the whole 2022, and we're not even into February. We're in the first week of February. And just to show you that PBC don't give two shits about the brothers, like as far as the business model goes, PBC chose to fucking single-handedly destroy the biggest fight between two brothers for yet another year. And it's pretty much all playing out in the beginning of Black History Month. So shout out to PBC. The Temple of Al, like fucking don't you dare criticize Al. Like, bro, like what are you writing for Al for? Like, what have you heard Al say anything? Like, what is it, bro? Don't you dare. And like as far as like I listen here and there again, like cause it comes on like not that it comes on too late, but I'm doing other shit around that time. Like I watch like a lot of TV like from like 11 to 2. Like because I'm on my dog schedule. But it's good that Fred from Barbershop Conversations has been critical of the PBC now. Because if you do listen to it, not that I listen to it all the time, but and not when he has that big Momo like on there with him, like that dude that always has his mouth open. The light-skinned cat. But the stuff that Fred is saying about the PBC, I mean, like it's the same shit I'm saying. I mean, and he's illustrating it better than I am. And I'm be the first to tell you that Fred had terrible takes in regard to the PBC. I mean, to me, he was dick riding the PBC just like any of these other channels. But like I've said before, even if you come to the party late and realize that the PBC is the worst thing that's happening for boxing right now, bro, we have no issue. I don't care if you defended them to the blood. I don't care if you lost relationships on YouTube because you instigated problems with people because they were critical of the PBC in 2021. So long as you come to the light on February 7th, bro, we are golden. And it's almost hilarious. Like 2022, for all the calamity that's happening around the world, is to me like a fantastic year because of the clown shit that's happening, not just in boxing, but worldwide. But the fact that Fred has broken ranks and is now like the principal PBC critic, I salute you. Fucking because it is what it is. I mean, he's not a dumb man, even though like a lot of his defense of PBC in the past to me was extremely cringy. But again, I mean, his recent takes in which he's critical of the PBC, regardless if it's a personal thing or I don't care, but it's refreshing in my eyes. Like, I mean, it's fantastic.
No, but Free's doing his own thing lately. We don't fuck with him like that.
Like, shut up. Like, I mean, like, regardless of how you feel about him, like, again, like a lot of the stuff he said in the past was extremely cringy. A lot of the and I've seen times where he has one take one day and then the following day it's some other shit. But I mean, if you step into the light tomorrow, I mean, if you get baptized tomorrow, not that I'm a Christian, but you're a Christian, so Fred's been baptized into the order of logical thinking when it comes to boxing. Logically, like we're not getting fights that we want to see. Let's see who's in the way of these things. And the rumor with all these dudes that like are on YouTube or new media, whatever have you, they get shitted on by the PBC when they go to these events. That's not like, I mean, is that like, am I telling you anything shocking? Because I mean, that's the rumor for what, a decade? They're shitting on new media. And you guys are out here like capping for them for what reason? Like, I mean, like even if they were breaking you off with bread, like it's not that much bread, but they're not. I don't think that's happening. But it's not worth it. Seriously. I mean, I think you guys could do a lot better on YouTube, like just giving your takes like to compensate for whatever benefit that the PBC gives you. But from the outside looking in and from the rumors you hear, the PBC like shits on boxing YouTube, particularly black boxing YouTube. So what are you out here like, stopping the PBC from catching a bullet here on YouTube? Like, what are they doing for you? They're not giving you what you want to see, one iota. And every chance they get, I mean, the company's showing you they're not doing shit for the black fighters. They're not. And that means more to you than it does to me. Like, I mean, like, and it's not like that's my principal effort, like fucking, but what you're saying that they're doing as far as being a company that's above and beyond pro-black, they're not. They're not. Their business model doesn't reflect that. Shit, but they make Charlo and Canelo happen. That fight hasn't happened yet. Canelo is going to murder Charlo, likely than not. Period. If Canelo tells Charlo, you got to fight me at 174, you think Charlo's not going to do it? No, Al ain't going to let that happen. Like, yeah, okay. Sure. Al ain't going to let that happen. No way. Sure. We get you. But, and that's not like me shitting on anybody, bro. Like, like that's not me shitting on anybody within boxing YouTube. Regardless of the takes you've had, like, I mean, like, a lot of people that I don't like on boxing YouTube, I don't listen to outright. If I think your channel's whack, your channel's whack. Like, there's no sense for me to go there. I mean, besides people I don't like I Am Ill Will, like, I'll go to his channel, like, just to, like, get, like, a laugh, like, here and there, though. But he's corny, and he's quasi like in the closet, so and plus he's said mess about me in the past, so sometimes I go there just to laugh at him and like to see his the highlights that he got. He probably got his highlights done on his hair at the same spot from the same lady that that Leo Santa Cruz got his highlights, is his tints, whatever the fuck you call it. But besides that, I don't listen to a lot of these channels like that, bro. But it's not that kind of party just because I don't listen to you. Like, for instance, like I don't listen to Black Fight Fans channel any longer because he's on that trip too. Like the whole Errol defense thing. And that's been years. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to listen to this dude no more. And it's not like I have a problem with him. I think he's fair enough. Not fair enough. I think he's a seemingly decent person, whatever. But it's not no beef like that. Like fucking and it's not no beef with anybody on boxing YouTube. When I have my takes about the PBC, it's not. It has nothing to do with you. You don't work for the fucking PBC. The PBC only has like that dude, I forget his name, like Ellis, I think, and those two twin guys that you know of, which are Ellis's sons, I believe, and fucking Tim Smith. Like seriously, like what else do they have that's popping off that seems like that gives you the impression that it's there's this big black operation happening over there, or that if you criticize the PBC, like you're like racist or some shit, or your criticism is coming from that. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. It's YouTube boxing, one, and it's not like there's shit popping off in boxing. Period. Period. Like this whole shit about like fucking defending a promotion company, that shit started like a couple years ago. Like that shit never existed in boxing. Never. Nobody said, "Oh well, you criticize Don King," like fucking. Everybody knew Don King was grease, and right now, like fucking, I mean, we're begging for the days of Don King. And if you think about it, I mean, in a sense, I mean, even though the Don King era was 1,000 times better than this era, but Don King kind of did the same shit that the PBC did, in the sense that they brought down the caliber of fights. I mean, or they gave you fights less often, as far as the superstars were relegated, or they gave you fights where you had to pay for them. If you look back to the pre-pay-per-view era, I mean, like fighters were fighting a lot more. I mean, not that a lot of people wax poetic and like yearn for the days of Don King like that, or like they're, Don King like fucking defenders, if you will. There's not that kind of party happening on YouTube, but we yearn for the days of Don King like fucking, because they're 1,000 times better than the time we're living in right now in 2022. And it's only going to get worse. The more that the PBC gets away with doing this shit, the more that they think that they're in the clear. I mean, and Bruce goes boxing, jazz, and more. Hey, Bruce goes. Thank you for coming through too. And you have a fantastic channel too. But what role are we taking in all this? Us as the fans. I mean, like at the end of the day, a lot of people that are coming onto YouTube to advocate for one thing or another, we're just fans, bro. I'm doing this like fucking broadcast right now with pajama shorts on and fucking thick socks, like fucking sitting cross-legged on a dining room chair. Fucking some people make broadcasts while they're defecating. We're just regular ass people, bro. Like, these promoters, at the end of the day, I mean, like, they only serve one role, to give us what we want. When they get in the way of that, I mean, are you going to sit back and eat it up and continue dishing out your $74.99 like to watch the shit that they're giving you? Or are you going to take a stand and be critical of what they're giving you? Lost one. Hey, well, so how you doing, man? Hey, man, hope you're good. Oh no, I am good, man. Thankfully, bro. I haven't been coming on lately too, because I have another cat that's fucking going through it, bro. Like, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I have a lot of cats. But in my regular house, like, which is this floor, another floor, and my last floor, I only have 3 cats. No, bullshit. 2 cats. But in my basement, I have a bunch of cats. Like, I have like this little room back here is for my cats, and the room beneath it, although there's like a whole other house like in my basement. So that's all cats. I love cats like a fucking I used to get cats fixed and all that shit, but one of them is going through it right now, and I don't bring cats to the vet, because then they're gonna tell you like fucking put it down. Thought we were getting ghost stories. Oh, the ghost stories are coming, my friend. Trust me. I mean, I just got to do these things more regularly, like, and a lot of times I get gun shy, like fucking. I'm like hyped up about doing a show, and then I'll fucking start watching fucking war stuff on YouTube or some stupid shit. But another thing too, why I haven't been coming on. Let me foray into my next subject. And that's because this I've been watching a lot of stuff regarding the Ottawa truckers. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the Ottawa, which is I think the capital of Canada, is having a protest right now where a lot of truckers have gone into the capital of Ottawa and they've basically stood there. And it's been going on for 10 days. And the reason I'm bringing it up on this channel is because I was watching Cali Enigma's channel this weekend, and he's in tune with politics. And I asked him if he knew what was happening, and he said no. And I think that's happening around the world where they're not really broadcasting the siege of Ottawa, as they're calling it. But basically, the prime minister of Ottawa, when this whole thing started happening, he because it's basically you can't move into Ottawa, like, and they're honking the horns like all like nonstop. The traffic is blocked. Like Ottawa's like done for as far as like moving around like you want to. Then Ottawa happens to be a what do you call it? Like a big city. Usually those cities are liberal, and they're probably like not really in tune with the protesters, because the protest is based on the fact that they want to mandate the truckers to get the shot, if you will. They either have to get the shot, or they, upon entering Canada or leaving Canada, they have to quarantine for 14 days. So I mean, like, imagine if you can't work for 14 days, you just off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like right now, they're protesting there. So the prime minister, when it happened, he said that he had been around people that had the virus, if you will, and he got 2 negative tests, and then all of a sudden they said he tested positive for that. So like, let's say if the whole like truck thing started like last Friday, he basically supposedly caught the thing on like Sunday or Monday. Then this was already happening. Like, as soon as the protest happened, like Ottawa was shut down immediately. And the thing is too that they were like doing like concerts out there. Like yesterday, they had like a bouncy house. There's like kids out there, old ladies. So it's not like no, like, you know, like them trying to fight. It's like a big party that's happening nonstop. But he gave a statement like right after supposedly he tested positive, and he was sequestering himself. And he gave a statement that he's not going to deal with people that are fascist or racist. But a lot of the people that are there, it's like Native American Indians and black people, white people. It's like all Canada. It's very peaceful, seemingly. And it's crazy because the prime minister, since he went into that sequestering himself, which was it was probably over a week ago, he hasn't popped up again. Like, he hasn't he's given like one statement about some other shit, and that's it. But the dudes that are protesting, they're saying that they're not gonna cave in. Like, basically, it's like no mandate, or we keep doing this, and they're gonna do it in other cities now too, supposedly in Canada, and supposedly they're saying that they're gonna pop off one here in domestically in the United States. They're saying that it's gonna start from California to Washington D.C., which is like 4,000 miles probably. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Don't misquote me. But stay tuned. I mean, like, you know, the bigger issue, I mean, the bigger thing in all this is that, one, that shit ain't being broadcasted. You basically have like the capital of a major country in North America at that, having a big time protest, having a prime minister who's like kind of like hidden since this. It's getting bigger and bigger, it seems. It's like 24 hours a day. And it's being broadcast on YouTube a lot, which is fantastic. Like, because they can't, you know, the news, they're not covering it at all. Like, I don't know if you've peeped, like, but I watch YouTube on my TV, and like a lot of times, like the news feature now, like it'll say like the recommended feature. Then right beneath that on mine is the news. Every news story before it would be like 2 hours old, 4 hours old. Not sure if this has anything to do with anything, but lately it's been showing like stories from like 3 days, 4 days ago. And it's like nothing that I would normally like search, because usually those things somewhat had something to do with what I searched, a part of the world or some shit. Lately, it's been showing none of that. And it's about like weather somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, because it's working. One province has done away with the mandate. Yeah, I didn't know that, bro. I mean, if you could tell me which province was, I don't know, is that Quebec? Like, but I'm not sure how it works over there. I'm not no expert. I'm a fat Puerto Rican dude who's doing this stuff, um, you know, as I go. But I hope they do away with it. I mean, like people's argument to that, to the mandate is stupid, or to mandates is stupid. Like, oh, well, it's the only thing that works. No, it's not, bro. Like, like, yo, give me a break, bro. Like, like you're gonna like tell dude, because like the thing is too that I'm anti-liberal all the way, and being anti-liberal has zero to do with being anti quote unquote minority. You motherfuckers that think that way are retarded. Like my grandfather was straight up black. I'm fucking Body from the Corey, bro. Like fucking from New York, from the hood, projects, you name it, bro. Like fucking that's not where it comes from one bit, bro. Liberals, by and large, are fucking white women who fucking are under sexualized like fucking creeps. The people that make these like rules for liberals, if you will, like fucking don't come at me with that bullshit one bit. And I've been that way for many years, fucking tough shit. Like, and it's not like, liberal has zero to do with Puerto Ricans. Liberal has zero to do with fucking black. Zero. Nothing. Besides us throwing our votes at them for God knows what reason. Saskatchewan. Oh, that's good. I don't know if Saskatchewan is like more like rural, but we'll take whatever victories we could get in that regard. I mean, like this shit has to end. Like, and not that I've been hiding out at home since this stuff happened. Like, honestly, it's benefited me immensely because I like to go places and I'd rather have people not on the road. So if you think you're gonna get the cold and fucking want to shut yourself into your house for 2 years, I mean, God bless. Like fucking stay in your house because it's giving me fucking good traffic at least. If you have kids and you do that, you're an asshole. Like, I mean, this is like a violation of what they're doing like to kids. I mean, kids haven't seen a human face without a mask on for 2 years. You don't think that's gonna fuck their heads up? I mean, I like when I went to Brooklyn the other day, my homeboy met me. I haven't seen him for like 9 years, 10 years. And he came outside like with a mask. I'm like fucking, but I told him, I was like, yo, take that shit off, bro. Like fucking but because you can't tell if somebody's happy or fucking I mean, like it's just creepy. It's creepy. And I mean, like, there's no end in sight, like with this stuff. So I mean, it's either like live with it or fucking mandates. Fuck a mandate, bro. Get out of here. Let me see. It's a rural province, the Pearlands. Yeah, man. Like, that's good though, man. We'll take whatever we get. And Canada was tripping as far as their stance on that, bro. Like, I've never been to Canada. I've been to Niagara Falls. I was disenfranchised with how this was going down, like with Canada though. But the fact that Canada is making it pop off right now, I mean, I'm more than proud of our brothers up north, and that's for everybody. And if you look at these things, man, like it's a I don't like saying rainbow of colors because rainbow is like fucking taken from us, man. Like fucking but it's a bunch of colors that are fucking within these protests. Has nothing to do with anything, bro. Like not everything has to do with like I'm anti-liberal with a lot of shit, but I think a woman has a right, even though I'm opposed to abortion, I think a woman has a right to choose. Like fucking I don't have a twat. Sorry if I mean like I don't like using that word in the presence of women, but I want to be curt with that. I don't think that you should pay for healthcare. Like fucking, I mean, it is gonna suck, but I mean, like, especially in today's environment, like fucking, would I rather be locked down or would I rather be free healthcare? Like fucking, even for assholes that don't work. I mean, fucking, it's cool. I'd rather take that. Like fucking, I'd rather our taxes be put into that and like not go into a lockdown. Like fucking, than whatever they use our taxes for, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean. But what else am I liberal on? Like, I think drugs should be legal, bro. I don't give a fuck what drugs you do. And I've never done drugs, like fucking but for you to do them, that's your fucking problem. And I'm not saying that because my brothers are drug addicts, like fucking but my brothers sometimes, like my oldest brother who's a drug addict, sometimes he says he likes going to jail. Not to say like, oh, that's a good thing. Like fucking no, I fucking hate jails. Should be less jails too. Build up a bunch of schools. You know that I pay for that. I'm good. I'm good with that. Like what are the liberal things I'm cool with? I don't know. I don't know much else, but fucking but just because I fall into a classification of like fucking one thing that makes me seem conservative, like the fact that we should be investing into our families a lot more. Like fucking be around your kids, bro. Like fucking big deal. Like, is that asking for so much? Like fucking would you have liked to have that, your dad around or your fucking mom around? Like fucking who wouldn't? Or the fact that I don't want to call you ma'am, like if you were born with a fucking dick, that's my prerogative. Who cares? Like I gotta call my grandma ma'am and then fucking see you fucking carrying 2 piles of lumber and like fucking with hairy arms, and I gotta call you ma'am too just because you dress different today. Fuck that. Fuck that. Not happening. Like fucking that's not a big deal. And it's not gonna be like where you're gonna try to convince me otherwise because no, like fucking I'm not like over here trying to fight people that wore dress though they were born with a dick. I'm not here to make fun of people that make that selection on a day to day. But what how I address you and whatnot, like fucking that's on me and that's between me and you. I'm just like if you called me a motherfucker, that's between me and you. Do I have to like punch you because you called me a motherfucker? I mean, not at fucking the age I'm in now. I mean, but that's your right. I don't care. Like people are way too sensitive about like fucking words nowadays. Where you gotta like change like fucking somebody else's life, like fucking because God forbid, like fucking you offended somebody, like fucking I think days are more colorful like when you are offended. Like fucking there's times where people have said shit to me on the road and like fucking it's hilarious. Like fucking in anger. 1 second. Fucking Russian bots, bro. Like fuck. Let me see. My leg would be falling off and I think about it. I don't get how you pay much to the hospital. Yeah, man. Like it's a lot. I mean, like an ambulance trip here in America, it's and it ranges. It's not like one set price, but it could be like $600 to like $900. That's just transporting you to the hospital. And if I can make any recommendation to you guys now, unless it's something critical, do not go to the fucking hospitals, bro. God, I don't know if this is a New York phenomenon or not. Seemingly it's not because I hear other people, but nothing promising is coming at you once you're in the hospital. And I want to be very vague purposely because I don't want this channel new. But the hospitals, a lot of people are going in, a lot of people don't come out lately. I'm telling you that from experience. Unless like a limb is falling off. And even then, like you'd have to see gangrene like setting in, like fucking but hospitals are a dangerous task, at least here domestically. Maybe it's a tri-state area phenomenon, and I'm trying to be aloof about the topic, but I know it's not a tri-state area phenomenon. But if you could tread lightly. But let me let you guys go. I'm glad you guys came through. Whoever came through, Lost One, Bruce Goes, Lala D, TWR, my man Rebel Life BK, my man Rebel Life Boxing. I hope you guys like the channels that I did name off. You do subscribe to them. Lost One too, man. Like if I didn't mention you, but you know, and to the truckers up north, man, keep honking. Like I mean, you're doing nothing wrong. You know, honk away like fucking Now, if something happens where some asshole, like one trucker, does some stupid shit, like fucking I don't know, like fucking, or it's made to look as if a trucker did something within the popular media. I mean, that doesn't represent what I've been seeing like the past couple of days with my own eyes, like fucking on YouTube live streams of like the events that are happening in Ottawa. You know what I'm saying? Like so, um, I'm glad that it's happening. Like delighted that it's happening. I mean, and it's coming like from a place of peace. And like this is the end. Like honestly, I think we're entering into an age of the end of bullshit. Like where not it's not gonna like the bullshit is gonna end, but I think we're coming into an age where we're starting to see a lot of stuff like that's happening now, and a lot of stuff that's happened like in history has been a bunch of bullshit. So I mean, I think the machinations of like whatever's keeping you down is gonna dramatically decrease soon. I mean, we're just living through a really shitty time right now. But I mean, like, we could either end the shitty times, i.e., mandates, and fucking up. It's not the only shitty thing that we're enduring right now, but it's a big one. It's a big one. How many people like have lost friendships because of these stupid conversations we gotta have now? Like fucking and don't be an asshole and fucking ask people like medical statuses when they come into your house. Like you're lucky people don't even go into your stinky ass houses. Not you guys, like fucking the people that listen to this video afterwards, let's say. But don't get into fucking arguments about like fucking politics, like where you stop talking to people, like fucking it's very hard for me, like fucking to hold my tongues at times. Like, but I'm not gonna engage in no bullshit like fucking just for the sake of doing it. I think a lot of people get too riled up by doing shit just like that. By like being like looking for something to argue over, bro. Like fucking bro, like you get hit by an ice cream truck tomorrow, and your last day, like fucking on this earth, could be getting into an argument with an asshole over politics. Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like peace and love to everybody. Like fucking but whether it's boxing or on a real life perspective, like fucking let's end the bullshit in general. If you're defending bullshit, I mean, you may feel a way of on how I talk about things. I mean, that's tough shit, though. I mean, I'm not doing it to offend you, but if you get offended, what do you want me to do? Like fucking like change the way I talk? No, fuck that. Like go elsewhere if that's the case. And I mean, I hope you fucking stay. I need fucking subs and views. Damn it. Like fucking I want to make this my job. Yeah, right. But but you shouldn't try to limit anybody from saying anything. Period. I don't care what it is, bro. Like, unless it's things about children, like, fuck off. Fuck off. If you get offended, I'm glad you got offended. Like, fucking by anybody. Like, I mean, if people's intentions are to offend you, I mean, you'd be a dumb shit to get offended. Period. And like, God gave you a mouth. I mean, like, fucking the guttural shit that I throw out to people on a daily, I mean, like fucking is poetic. Like fucking you have that same liberty too, bro. Somebody offends you, fuck them. Like and let them know. But I mean, like fucking if it's you trying to instigate problems, I mean, like fucking life's too short. But with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. Fucking listening to this fucking regular ass dude from his regular ass house speak to you, man. But I'm honored that you come and drop by. With that, thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player.